Be ready for an extraordinary journey where the world of investments meets the allure of two captivating destinations. Prepare to embark on an exhilarating exploration of safe and smart investment opportunities, weaving together the vibrant landscapes of Kerala and the boundless opportunities of the United Arab Emirates. Gulf Madhyamam, the largest Indian newspaper in the Middle East, proudly presents some of the established brands with new projects and novel concepts worth investing in. Gulf Madhyamam is proud to welcome all of you to this prestigious session. Let us now talk about the most futuristic investment options. Presenting Gulf Madhyamam Investment Summit.
Tawheeda Faiz and Sujith Koshy Varghese with a huge round of applause. Prior to launching her podcast, Tawheeda was a banker turned entrepreneur in the hospitality sector with platforms such as Mayfair Restaurants and Caviar Hospitality. Happy to have you both here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All yours.
Thank you so much, Nisha. Thank you so much, Come On Kerala, for having us here. I think it is an amazing platform for all Malayalis to come together and celebrate in true Kerala spirits. I believe it's been a long morning with intense corporate and finance chats, so I hope our session here is going to break that monotony. By way of introduction, I'm Tawheeda Faiz. I'm the podcast host at Chat Me Up with Tawhi. I interview guests and bring the fun side of their journey. And one such guest I had lately on my podcast is Sujith Koshy Varghese. He is one of my most favorite guests lately. You must have seen a lot of Sujith lately on newspapers and across all social media platforms. He lately won the Guinness World Record for the largest GPS drawing of a wheelchair in a wheelchair. He's also recognized by the Dubai government, media. He's a TEDx speaker with an amazing story to share. Thank you so much, Sujith, for being here today.
Thank you so much, Tavi. First of all, ellarkum namaskaram, since we are all close Malayalis over here. And such an absolute pleasure for having us over here. Thank you, Tavi.
Yeah, Sujith hails from Mavelikara,
Yes.
and I'm from Mahi. Sujith, of all the people I've recorded with and spoken to, I've told you before also, undoubtedly your journey and story has to be the most inspirational and overwhelming stories I've shared.
Thank you.
So before we get into that, why don't we briefly introduce your journey to the audience here?
So yes, I'm born and raised in Dubai, 31 years, all my life over here. I did my schooling over here, most of my schooling, and then I moved to Kerala, where I did my 3 years of my final education. And then in Bangalore, I was studying for Bachelor's in Commerce in Jain College, Bhagwan Mahavir Jain College in Bangalore. So I was studying Bachelor's of Commerce 2010, 11, 12, and 13 was my final year. Wow. And just to describe who I was that time, I was a very athletic guy. I was in the basketball team. I was a sports captain. In college, I was a boxer. I was in a boxing academy. So very athletic. I love sports bikes. I love racing. It was like the adrenaline. I was an adrenaline junkie, basically, in short. And in 2013, I met with a bike accident. I went into coma. I was in ventilator. I woke up on the 4th day just to realize I suffered 18 fractures on my skull. I had ribs broken. I broke my spinal cord. So that is the reason of my paralysis. I'm here. And then after 2013, it's just been one crazy journey so far till 23 so far, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, when you said you woke up after 4 days from your coma,
Right.
and having been the adrenaline junkie that you were, active person, obviously at that age, like you said, you were a boxer, an athlete, a biker, all of it. So how was the sudden shock of it all?
Confusion. For the first initial, I wouldn't say even it's like first couple of months, it's pure confusion, it's pure understanding what happened to you. Like it doesn't sink in at one shot. It's like a hit that comes over a short period of time.
Yeah.
And then there are days you're at just the peak just to realize what happened to you. So it's a lot of shock, it's a lot of trauma.
And I also remember you said that you went around asking every doctor who came
Right.
into your room, right?
Right. Every doctor,
Yeah.
every nurse,
Looking for that hope.
every physiotherapy, like what is the cure of a spinal cord injury? And all what I heard were negative answers, but that was at the very start of my journey,
journey. And how long would you say that lasted, that initial state of shock?
Oh, for years, because I underwent through so much of research work. And when you hear negative and you hear no from a lot of people from every other side, you start asking yourself, now what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I had my phases of depression, my phases of trauma, my phases of loneliness. But it's at that, like I always say, it's at that position where a man or a woman is bought in life that when you hit ground zero and you realize, I'll keep it more simple. Basically, after a certain age in life, till a certain age in life, you always have a belief that your parents are going to take. Like how bad you mess up, I just have to do a call. I can do to my brother.
No matter what happens,
someone is there to back it up. But what happens when you reach in a position in life where nobody around you has an answer to your situation? How do you fix that?
Yeah.
Right? So that is the position I found myself in. And then a person has to make a choice. It comes down to two things. It comes down to you either giving up and accepting that you cannot do it. And that is something you're going to be stuck for because you don't have the power, you don't have the strength for it, whatever the reasons may be. Or you take a big chance, a big unknown chance of the unseen future, and you take a chance and you take a risk and you go ahead with it. So that's what I did.
There's this saying, right? When you hit rock bottom, the only way is up.
You're hitting down. You'd rather look up because you're
then
already
you just
down.
Wait it up.
Yeah.
So how was the transition? What was that moment that actually flipped it for you?
For me,
when you decided that
after
I'm not going to.
After going through, I was in my 11th surgery or something, I'm not sure. And yes, very lonely, depressed. I saw this video. I remember, and I always mention about this video because this was a life-changing video for me of a person in USA. His name goes by the name Dewey Bonzello. He's not a celebrity or anything, but he's a guy who changed his life upside down with something that happened to him. It's a long story, so I'm not going into that. But after watching this man's video, I asked myself, I was at the age of 21 at that time. I asked myself, there's a man out there who fought and struggled for something that he believed in. Whether the world told him it's not possible, he believed it. He had that core belief that heaven on earth might shake, but my core belief is not going to shake. And this man made life-changing decisions. And he's a living example. He's a living legend today. So I told myself, there's a man out there who did that. And what gives you the right, Sujith, to give up and lose hope when your injury is not even 1 or 2 years? And I asked myself, is this the person you were? I mean, you were a basketball player, you were athletic, you were out there, everyone knew you.
Yes.
You were that popular kid. And is this how people are going to, your life is going to define you like this, is what I asked myself. So I asked myself that question and the answer was no. I'm not going to allow people's limitations to become my reality.
Yeah. I think a lot of that is the kind of person that you were till then as well, right? To gain that kind of inspiration from within.
Right, it has to come from within.
That's
from something within. I realized. There's somebody, your bosses, your friends, your parents can tell you, no, do it. You can, I'm supporting you.
Yeah.
No matter whichever, Sylvester Stallone himself can come and tell you that.
Exactly.
But you will not move until you make a decision that you have to change your life.
It is all unto you because now when we look at it in the current generation that we are in, even at the slightest of setbacks, everybody seems to flounder. And it is so difficult to find the right kind of help to motivate you to go further. And so just like I said, I opened my statement saying, looking at you, I think a lot of us have no choice to complain. Like you were inspired by Daniel.
So what I realized about that is, I know there are a lot of people who break down in the most simplest of things.
Yeah.
When I've seen them, the simple problems come, they're like, oh, it's not possible. I don't believe that is because when a person is put into pressure, take any scenario, whatever we're doing, when we are put into really hardcore pressure, no matter whether it might be deadlines or whatever it might be, you will use every single second of yours, every single energy. You will not eat food. You will not do whatever you want to do, but you'll make sure that work is complete, right?
Yeah.
But it's not until that pressure comes to you, you are put into a zone to work that way, right? So for me, I was put into that pressure, but then when I saw it...
What was that pressure point that broke?
My life, story, everyone's giving me to that, they're putting me on the edge and thinking that I will accept this limitation of reality that they've put on me.
Yeah, this is why I call this segment Redefining Limits, because a lot of people around you were giving you the limits and expecting you to just fit into that.
Yeah, just for people to understand, the limits were basically telling me, now Sujith, you'll never be able to walk, you'll never have a job, you'll always need a person to take care of you, your life has changed, you might have a desk job. Not that a desk job is bad, but the way they meant it, like I'll be stuck in one side, you know.
Yeah.
So these were the limitations that people just kept telling me
Yeah.
over and over and over
And
again.
it's interesting how not only did you challenge those limits, you set unattainable targets ideally for like normal, regular people as well. And then you were hell-bent on challenging those targets and achieving them.
Right.
Right? So like one of which is you very casually, you came out and said you wanted to pull a 1,000 kg car. I think that is something so commendable. And that was when after you had an injury that actually paralyzed you from waist below. You worked on yourself. You are a personal trainer for others as well. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, when one thing in life, I took the initial step was me making the decision. People ask me, what is that step? Was it working out that got you in the zone? No. The initial step was even when I was at the lowest point of my life, I mean physically, and I was paralyzed. I was the most energetic self of my life, and I became in a wheelchair with nothing to look forward to. At that minute, the choice I made to change my life, that I am going to fight this, I am going to be better. I know there are doctors who are telling it's not going to happen, it's not going to, but I started believing that I'm going to change it. So the first thing I did, just to, in my house in Kerala, I wanted to sleep in my room. It's a very simple request. But the problem is my room was on the first floor and there was 18 steps up. Every single one who asked me, already I'm hearing no for everything. And they told me, you're not able to sleep in your room, so just sleep down. And I asked my mother, my father, they said, it's not possible. We cannot build a lift. Nobody can carry you. Just sleep down. And I told myself, the simplest things I want, I can't do it. So the first thing when I decided to change my life and prove the wrong as right, I told myself, what's the first thing you want to do? Okay, you want to sleep in your room? Let's go sleep in your room. And I thought to myself, and I remember this quote, if you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. Tauhi, that's exactly what I did. I wheeled myself till the end of the step. I picked myself from the wheelchair and I put myself on the step. And 18 steps up, I did a push-up.
Wow.
It's not the most common way. It's not the most right way to do it.
Because it is not at all.
But when I reached on top, I was sweating, I was panting. I got up from the floor to a couch, from the couch to my wheelchair, and from the wheelchair to my room. You know, when I did this, I was sweating, I was panting, and I go to my room and I'm looking, and I'm sitting on my bed and I'm looking at up, and I said, you know what? I just proved everybody wrong. That is where everything in my life changed, because every single one who told me, Sujith, including my relatives, it's not possible. So when the next day, I remember this lady with her daughter coming to my house, and she asked me, and my mom told he just did this. And the first thing she asked me is, how did you do it? That's how, you know, so that's how it literally works. That's how life is. Everyone, a lot of people will tell you, your goals are not possible, your dreams are not possible, you cannot do this for whatever reason maybe. But once you do it, how did you do it?
For all the while they were saying patula.
Yeah.
And then you just showed.
And then after that, you know, that was the first thing that gave me another path. Okay, Sujith, what else is possible now? And then I came back to Dubai in 2015. My dad got a visa. And I just told him one thing. I realized something. I always needed help. Like even if I wanted to shift from my wheelchair to a sofa or a bed, I needed 2-3 people's help always. Because I was skin and bones, you know. And I told them I want to join a gym. And because I thought, if I get a little bit more strength, I'll be able to be a little bit more independent, you know. And that was a very risky call, because if I know today I've done a lot of feats in terms of fitness, but at that time, skin and bones, if I didn't hold on to something, I would just fall off my wheelchair. My balance was very bad. And one fall I could break something and I wouldn't even know, because I cannot feel from my chest below. And my mom said, if that's what you want, go do it. First 2 weeks, 3 weeks, all I did was 2 kilos, 4 kilos. Fast forward, but I took fitness like a religion, because I was not working, I was not studying. I took fitness like a religion every day, 6 o'clock in the gym, 8 o'clock outside, I'm eating clean. Fast forward, Tauhi, 3 months later, for the first time in my life, I'm bench pressing 100 kilo.
Wow.
Then I got
sponsored.
You know, that was the determination I had. Then believe this story, I got my first, then I started coming on radios and I came on the TV for my journey of, back how I came to be. And after my very first talk with Chris Fade on Chris Fade show, for Fade Fit, the brand, I got sponsored by UFC gym. But the problem is, I stay in Sharjah at that time in Al Nahda, and UFC gym is Business Bay. I'm not working. I don't have money to travel by a taxi every single day, and I cannot ask my mom to drop me to Business Bay and wait for me 2 hours till I finish till I come back. But I desperately wanted to go to UFC gym for one purpose. My Sharjah gym was in my next building. It wouldn't even take me 5 minutes to reach. But I wanted to go to UFC gym.
And that is the most hated route, by the way, Sharjah
to Dubai.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, how can you do it? And I told myself, wait, Dubai has free access of metro and buses for people of determination.
Yes.
But I stay still in Sharjah. I have to go to Dubai for an easier access.
Yeah.
I want everyone to listen to, picture what I'm saying. I used to wheel 400 meters from my house through Sahara Center Mall, get exit out of back of Sahara. I used to wheel another 50 meters or so, and then I used to come to the Dubai side. From there, I used to catch a bus, and I used to go to Guinness metro station. From Guinness metro station, exchange in Union, and I used to get down at Business Bay metro station.
Wow.
From Business Bay metro station, I used to catch a bus F41 and go to Bay Square. In Bay Square was where UFC gym is.
Yes. Oh
I used to
my God.
work out for 2 hours, and then I used to do the same
how long was that commute?
I used to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. I used to come back home at 11:30 in the morning.
So your cardio was sorted on the way
Everything.
back.
And you know why I did that? I have a gym next building, but I
Yeah.
said I desperately wanted to go there because UFC gym had something my gym did not have, and that was a boxing bag.
And that was your passion.
That was a boxing bag. So I wanted to box again. That's the reason I traveled.
And that route that you took, oh my God, I mean, with so much dedication
Yeah.
and to go through all of that.
Because there are ways, like I said, climbing a step. People are thinking only of running, jumping, walking.
Yeah.
There is a way. I crawled. So what? Did I reach my destination? Yes. I took the longest route, which is a lot of time consuming, but I got to my destination. End of the day, that's what matters. The journey, it's not getting to the destination that made me strong. The journey, what I took, what I did to get to that destination has made me
And the
rock
journey has
solid
come a
who I
long
am.
way. It has paid you back immensely. Because after that, I believe, is when you pulled that Mini Cooper. Because
Yeah.
you wanted to prove a point,
Yeah.
right? 1,000 kilo car.
1,250 kilos. Mini Cooper was actually, the origin of the story was, in life, as you do something good and you get a result for it and everyone's happy around you. Because what affects you doesn't only affect you, it affects the people around you.
Yeah.
And that's a fact,
Yeah.
So I build and I try to do my best in my life so that my family and people around me are also a part of that. So it's
Also joining in on your celebrations.
It's for a bigger purpose. It's because it's never about you. It's never about me. It's always
But for the family.
yes, it does a lot for other people as well, and that's the only way I think how I see going about life.
That is the beauty of it, right? It's not like you were trying to emulate someone. It has been constantly challenges that you've set for yourself that you intend to achieve.
Right.
Yeah, so that is very commendable.
Yeah. I mean, I there was a point of time where people are like, "That's not possible." I'm like, "Just bring it on."
Yeah.
Like
So, and you were also saying you've come to a point when if someone tells you cannot do it, is when you are adamant you will do it.
Correct. And like the pulling the car was a point just to show people that was not a physical stunt. The idea was if I showed in front of a big crowd and there's a Mini Cooper and the weight of the car is 1,250 kilos and I'm like, do you think I can pull this car? There might be some people who say yes, but there would be a lot of people who said, I don't think it's physically possible. But what if you saw the impossible happen in front of your eyes? So this happened in a school with like some 300, 400 children. And what if they saw the impossible happening in front of them? Then wouldn't you start thinking, oh, the limitation what I put to that was in my head.
Yeah, it's all in your head.
It's
a mind game,
always
yeah.
been in your head. It's literally in your
Limiting
head.
yourself inside your head.
For me,
that is a barrier. That's the first barrier.
It is it is literally the only barrier you have to break. Rest, it's easy. Like it's like they say in the gym, all you have to do is show up. The rest of the thing will follow. Showing up is the hardest part. Working out is not the hardest.
100%.
Working out is not the hardest.
Yeah.
Same thing. Deciding it in your mind that you can do it and that you will do it is the hardest part.
Yeah.
And believing in it, obviously.
So how did this Guinness World Record come along?
So
Let's
this-
get to the elephant in the room.
Elephant
and
in the room.
highlight.
So Guinness World. So like I was saying, I was pulling cars. I got my certification. Personal. So one thing I believe in is manifestation and wishful thinking and all that. So there are certain things that I do with a belief. Like I've received it, I will receive it. Like even if I'm having a conversation with somebody, there are certain things that I will talk to them in an intention and a way, not for them to know that information, which they will eventually, but in a way that I'm asking it out there so I receive it. And I was around with some bunch of friends and all, and I was doing good. I was getting awards. I became a TEDx speaker. I won Masala Award. And I was
You
like,
have
man,
such a powerful story for TEDx speech.
yeah, TEDx was I'm very grateful for that,
Yeah.
for all of it. And when I was telling my friend, I'm like, man, so what is limitation then? How far can you actually dream? Why cannot we think we can be great? Because I'm not a guy who was born with silver spoon. I wasn't given it at all. I worked. I saw how people are doing it. I saw the mindset in only the people, the legends I follow, like people like Kobe Bryant, Muhammad Ali. I'm a huge follower of their work ethics, especially Kobe Bryant. You know, he has something called Black Mamba mentality. It's phenomenal. With a mindset like that, I don't know who you cannot beat. You will be the best in your game, and I genuinely believe that Black Mamba mentality. And I'm like, with this mindset, why not think you can be the best? Who is stopping you? Because you're Indian, you're Malayali? No, nothing.
No, yeah.
You can be the best, my friend, if you put your work and your effort and you channel your energy in the right path of it. And that's what I did. And I told myself, dude, what is the biggest title in terms of accomplishments I can figure out?
Wow.
Olympic gold medal, Guinness World Record. Like that was my level of thinking the highest. Believe this, 2021, and this year goes by, 2021, suddenly I get a DM in my Instagram from the senior PR manager of Guinness World Record. And he messages me, I'm following your content, I love your page, I just want to know one thing. I'm like, what's up? He's like, are you interested in breaking a Guinness World Record? And this came to me, and I know this is something I was doing wishful thinking, I'm like, I was telling my friends, man, how cool would it be if I get a Guinness World Record? And we got brainstorming. So there were 10 records that was presented to me that people in a wheelchair has already done, but many of them were not physically possible due to core balance. So then one was pulling a car, but I'm like, I've already done that. We got brainstorming, and then we decided on a GPS logo. And the question was, what was the logo to be? And I was like, I needed to be a logo of a wheelchair. Because I felt genuinely, what more impactful message can I give to my community, whoever are people of determination in a wheelchair? And for God's grace, when I had to design the route, so I chose JVC. JVC was a fail because the route wouldn't show like a wheelchair. I showed Palm. Palm was a fail again. And the next best option I got was downtown.
Yeah, and that's in the center, the middle of the town, middle of the city.
And I started designing it, and it fit perfect. I submitted to Guinness World Record. They approved it. And so I drew a wheelchair by wheeling 8.71 kilometers across downtown and financial center. And when I completed, when I put that image where I wheeled on Google Earth, it will show you the shape of a wheelchair.
And that's 8.71 kilometers in 1 hour and 25 minutes.
1 hour 25
ഞാൻ
minutes.
ഓടിയാ പോലും എത്തൂല. Wow. And I think we have to take a moment here to appreciate the kind of support that you got from the Dubai police and media.
Definitely. Dubai police, huge respect to them, because on the day of the event, I think we spoke about this last time, day of the event, Pradesh is like 5 cars. I land in Dubai, Dubai Burj Khalifa's fountain. That was a meeting point at 5 o'clock on 12th of March. And I am seeing there are 30 cars. And 20 cars at that moment, 20 cars, and from that, 18 cars are Dubai police cars. And I told my sister, I think we are at the wrong event. I think Sheikh Hamdan is coming to this event. We are at the wrong one. And in 5 minutes, I get a call from Major Khalid, who I've been coordinating. He's like, Sujith, are you here? I'm like, yeah, where are you guys? He's like, yeah, this is us.
I am.
And that's when I come to know the level of support. And
the kind of welcome, it is so overwhelming to see so many people actually expecting you to carry this through.
Yeah, and every part I went to, we started from down Dubai Mall, we moved forward to Zabil Palace, Financial Center.
And it was not a straight road, right? With cobbled paths, inclines.
Oh yeah, so the toughest route for me was Dubai Mall.
Yeah,
so there is creating the leg of the wheelchair was through Dubai Mall basement. And the road is bricks, cobbly, and it was very hard to maneuver through those roads. But we did what we had to do.
And how does it feel now?
It feels amazing. It feels phenomenal. Like the minute, if you showed, we saw the video, I touched the foot because I knew the race was done, and I used every single. And just for people to know, I have not trained. I didn't train for this a lot. I did not train. I do gym, my usual sessions, but I did not go wheeling for endurance from the past couple of months. I was on antibiotics. The doctor asked me to get hospitalized for some medical reason. I rejected him. I told him it's the biggest event of my life. I'm not going to do it. I had 2 days of training on the month of the world record. And the first 800 meters was with full power. The cop, his name is Seth, he was running with me. He was running. He was not even jogging. Like
exactly,
Seth was like.
I said, I wouldn't complete that 8 kilometers even in an hour, even if I were to run.
Yeah.
I need 3 minutes to pant.
So first, because I have so much I've not exerted my energy. I'm in a good pump. 800 meters was with full power. But what happens when you have a sprint, 100 meters sprint, boom, you use all your power. What happens after that 100 meters?
You take a break.
You're panting, you're done, right? after 800 meters, everything starts hurting, And I'm like, why is it hurting now? I barely crossed Dubai Mall. You know what I mean? I barely crossed the Dubai Mall under the bridge.
Daunting task ahead.
And I was headed to creating the hand of the chair. And when I stopped on the side for 5 minutes, and everyone comes to me, are you okay? What happened? Because they saw me coming in good path. That is when it hits me. It hits, Sujith, you're damn tired. Every single cell in your body is paining. But there are 8 convoy cars behind you. There is a buggy with cops in front of you. There's a drone flying above you. Downtown is shut right now for this world record. It is a Guinness World Record. You're never going to get this again. This is in my head. And I tell myself, use every single thing you have. Die. Die in this track.
But do it.
But do it.
Wow.
That's the attitude.
So, going back to all the people that have been telling you, Sujith engane ottake manager, Sujith engane work cheyum, what will you do? Ellarum you've proven wrong consistently. But like now you have your own 9-to-5 job. You are on a social media. Your social media platform is such that a lot of people envy you. You're creating records here. Probably the only thing missing is the girlfriend angle. What do you say? So how are things looking on that front? I think you're going to sort that out soon as well,
I think after your
right?
podcast comes out, I'll get some responses.
Okay, so I am very aware of the time here, Sujith. So before we wind up, what is your one life learning?
One life message?
Yeah. What's something you've learned the hard way?
One thing I've learned is, people will always tell you things are not possible in life. You'll have a lot of people not believing in you, and I always tell people you shouldn't be one of that person. Because if you're having a self-doubt, don't have it. You don't have it. No matter how crazy that idea may sound. There are thousands of people that will have the doubt on you. You don't have that doubt. And next thing I always tell people is always take a chance. Always take a risk. Because the only regrets you'll have end of the day is the chances you did not take.
That leap of faith.
Yeah, leap of faith.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Sujith.
Thank you so much.